Find the sum of the integers which are divisible by 3 and lie between 40 and 800. The first term between 40 and 800 that's divisible by 3 is 42. The last term that's divisible by 3 in this range is 798. We can check divisibility by 3 by adding individual digits from each of these numbers and seeing if that is divisible by 3. So for example, in 42, we know that 4 plus 2 is 6, which is divisible by 3. Hence, 42 is also divisible by 3. Now, what we need to do is figure out what n is. What is the term number that gets us to 798? We can use the general term formula for an arithmetic sequence, plugging in our knowns. Here, we're asked to solve for an unknown n.
If you're dealing with paper 2 of an IB examination where you are allowed to use a calculator, it is important to select efficient strategies to solve your problem. In this case, we have a fairly simple algebraic equation to solve. But if you saw a more complicated equation, don't waste time doing that. Use the numeric solver. Here's how you can do it. So you go to your graphing calculator, you press math, you scroll up, find the numeric solver, and then under E1, you type in the left side of the equation. Under E2, you type in the right side. Then you press graph to solve, and you have your answer.
Solving this, we find that n is equal to 253. We can use this to find the sum of all of the integers that are divisible by 3 between 40 and 800. We know how many terms there are. There are 253 of them. We use the arithmetic sum formula and plug in our known values. So we take the number of terms, divide by 2, and then multiply by the first term plus the last term. We arrive at an answer of 106,260. In part B, we're asked to find the sum of the integers from 40 to 800 that are not divisible by 3. Let's think about that and break it down for a moment. To find the sum of all the integers from 40 to 800 that are not divisible by 3, we first need to find the sum of all the integers from 40 to 800. Then we want to subtract the sum of those integers that are divisible by 3. This would leave us with the sum of the integers that are not divisible by 3. To figure out the sum of all the integers from 40 to 800, we must apply the arithmetic sum formula. And to do that, we need to know how many integers there are from 40 to 800. There are 761 of them.
So at this point, you might be wondering, why are there 761 numbers between 40 and 800 and not 760? Well, if you took 800 and subtracted 40, you're going to get 760, which tells you the difference between those numbers. But let's think about how many numbers are there between 1 and 10. There's 10 numbers. And if I took 10 and subtracted 1, I'm going to get 9. But I have to add 1 to that difference in order to figure out the total number of numbers within that range.
So we divide that value by 2 and multiply by the first and last terms in the sequence. We already know what the sum of all the integers that are divisible by 3 are. So we calculate our final answer to be 213,360.